Gonna go on and try to read a poem and then watch an animation of the poem, and then you're gonna write your own poem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah,
And then after that, get up and take a yes, Paulina.
Visualize the light moving down each vertebrae. Sending love to your heart, all of your organs and your body.
All as humans, like they don't have the same qualities that we do for training.
Exactly.
It's
Because
just-
humans can do after a robot.
They don't think like we do.
Yeah. What is something that robots has that's negative? Or like Kimberly was saying, Kimberly was explaining or defining the pride, the negative pride.
Like, you know that terrorist, the one that
Osama bin Laden?
Yeah, he was the one talking. No, that of the 9/11 that he was hiding, and then he took pride in like
Al Qaeda.
I don't know.
Al-Qaeda.
Like, but he took
That's
pride
like
that
the
he
name
did
of
it,
the people
even
that
like
bombed 9/11.
some
I
videos. I
I
guess.
didn't.
Like,
That's-
like, killed, that's like.
That's pride. That's taking ownership.
I know.
Of something, right?
That's a terrorist.
But what Kimberly was saying is when you don't do something because you think you're weak. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does it make sense in the story though?
No.
That they didn't want to give up something because they thought it was gonna be weak.
Oh, yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yeah. So,
Now music in it, the language can be.
The pictures.
What about you, Amos? What is poetry?
Poetry is a way of writing something that rhymes.
Okay. He synthesized basically what everyone has said. Thank you. What about?
We came to a place where they bumped, they stood.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Sorry.
Like what?
Just anything else about ForWords that you think people should know in this video?
I mean, there are different programs here in Marin County that help low-income students. Most of them are really college-based, academic-based. I think for me, ForWords is not only about the academics or the college-based. I mean, of course, we all want our kids in every single nonprofit here. They're gonna tell you we all want our kids to go to college. We also want the same, but I think I also would like for ForWords that our kids can pick any career and can thrive in anything, either as an artist, as a photographer, as a writer. They can thrive. That is not only about like hard sciences or them being doctors, but they can do that for sure. But just for them to find ways to inspire each other and to inspire themselves, to motivate themselves. So, and I feel ForWords is a family. I treat the kids. I mean, I'm 22 years old. I'm about to be 23, and the kids for me are like my little siblings. I treat them like my little siblings. So I treat them like family. You know, sometimes I like to meet the parents. So, you know, I'm always trying to make sure they know to be aware of respect. And the ForWords is a community. It's not only a program, but a community that they can rely on, and they, of course, can take things from. And, you know, I think for me, the best things that these kids are ever going to give me is to help other people. It's never to be up to me and be like, thank you, David, because you were a great educator, or for teaching me this or teaching me that. I think I will prefer them to be, and I told them every time I have the chance to, it's for them, the best things they can give me is to go out there and do the best, change the world, do their dreams, reach their goals, regardless of what they're told. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you, and thank you for your project.
Yeah, no problem.
6. 1. Poems emphasize language's musical.
All right, and I'm recording this as well.
Do that. All right. So, how long have you been with ForWords? Been working here?
How long have I been working with ForWords? I actually started working for ForWords as an intern when I was a freshman in college, which that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, and I was an intern. I was their artist in residence. I was, I'm looking at you, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
It's all good. But you're fine.
What was I doing? They were doing a project about spoken word, and since I was really into spoken word, I helped them out with like poetry in terms of like writing and then how to perform it. So that's how I got involved in ForWords, and then I stopped working for them because I went to New York to Sarah Lawrence College to end my undergrad. And then I came back and I got offered the position for Director of Youth Education, and I took it, and it's been I think 6 months since I started working with them.
What do you think is the most fulfilling?
No, just we're sorry. Your professional report. Just before we get into, could you introduce yourself and say what you do?
Oh,
Wait, never get to that.
Yeah, we can do the order.
This is a whole thing. We're
We can
editing
no, it's
all
okay.
of this.
So my name and
Just say your name.
Say your name and what you do.
What you do here.
my name is David Calderon. I'm the Director of Youth Education, which basically I supervise or 2 youth educators who teach middle school, high school, and then I plan everything. Basically, I do the curriculum planning. I make sure they're executing their lesson plans, and I also do the meetings. People like young people would consider boring stuff, but meeting with principals, with teachers, and making sure we're running smooth. Yeah.
What do you think is the most fulfilling part about ForWords?
As a teacher, as an educator, the most fulfilling part about ForWords, I would say just watching kids learn, being curious, being having this hunger that everyone has when they're kids, and just making sure that they know what they're doing, and when they have questions, instead of answering them, let them guide them to answer their own questions. And I think the most beautiful part about it and fulfilling is when they found it, when they are like, I know what poetry is, I know what metaphor is, and I can define them by my own words. I don't need like big words to define them. So yeah.
So that answer was great.
That was
a lot of gossip in the background.
I'm sorry.
How much did you hear?
I heard the whole thing.
The
Dog
dog.
barking barely takes any of it away.
But could you
Okay.
hear the dog?
Oh yeah, but like barely.
It's fine. It's fine. If it's
It's
not
a
that
lot
bad.
farther away than.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't matter. We got a really good answer,
Okay.
so I really like.
Yeah, that was perfect. So, what do you hope for these kids to accomplish going forward from ForWords?
What I would like for the kids to accomplish, I think for the middle school, is to have a base. The academics and arts I always call it marry themselves, but they can be synthesized, right? They can be together. So, doing research, learning about their culture, learning about social issues, learning about gender inequality, racism, all of this, and letting them know and for them having a name to all their discrimination, all the problems. So I think this is for the whole program. It's for them to actually have the vocabulary and the ability, critical thinking to call things for what they are, instead of just saying like, I just felt bad because someone called me something inappropriate, right? And then for them also, because it carries a lot of pain, like being in working with low income students of color, it carries a lot of suffering, pain, a lot of trauma that these kids are always told to never share it. And through art, what I'm visioning is for them to find either writing, drawing, painting. Right now we're doing animations, to find a way to channel all of that. Because I wouldn't like them to see them doing negative stuff, like doing things to hurt other people because they're hurt. I would like them that instead of converting that hurt into power and into potential, into learning that this pain and this suffering is also human, and we all can relate to. So, this is my vision. This is what I'm trying to do for these kids from now on. that whenever they feel someone did them wrong, they can find a pencil and a paper. They can find, I don't know, pen, like anything, and express that feeling. And also not being able to be scared to share it with everyone, so they don't feel alone, and to let other people know that they're not alone. So yeah.
Amazing.
That was
Thank
really
you so
good.
much.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
all we have.
Okay, start recording. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You recording?
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm
so
clapping.
am I.
Okay. So our first question is, how long have you? Oh, also, just to preface, since we won't be including like us talking to you, when we ask you a question, like you say like, for example, the first question is, how long have you been at ForWords? You'll say, I have been at ForWords for you know the.
It's called reiteration. So, you want to ask the question?
All right. So how long have you been at ForWords?
I've been at ForWords for 1.5 years.
1.5 years. What do you think has been your like favorite project or unit that you guys have done?
The favorite project my favorite project that we've done here at ForWords has probably been the mass. Just because like we researched our own culture and we got to know more about our culture than the school or anyone else has taught us. It was like really cool, and like it was also really cool that like you made a mask out of your own face instead of using like a prop or something.
Besides, like the academics and stuff like that, what do you have there been any connections that you gained out of ForWords that you really value?
Well, I'm really connected to Gail's daughter, Liz, just because she really struggled with mental health issues, and I myself also struggle with mental health issues. So, I mean, it's really cool that not only they can help me academically, but also, with emotionally and mentally, and just, yeah.
And we just had David talk to us, and he said that one of the things that he finds most important about the program is helping the kids feel a stronger sense of connection with their culture. And do you feel like you've sort of got that stronger connection?
And if so,
through ForWords? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Here at ForWords, I feel like I'm more connected through my culture, just because of the projects we have done about our culture, and well, most specifically because like our program is full of like my kind of people. It's not like so I do feel connected in some type of way, and yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
What do you think is if you already answered this, is the most valuable thing you've
I
gotten?
think we've already done that.
We said specifically not academic.
Okay, but we're not.
What did
we're
you
not
get
really
out of
that
academic?
All right, cool. So do you think that you will be staying at ForWords throughout, your middle school and high school,
Don't be afraid
career?
to say no. We can just cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if so, why?
I've been here at ForWords since my incoming freshman year, and I'm now a sophomore. So just because of the way things have been going for me since I've stayed here at ForWords, I think I will be staying here, just because it's a really good program, and it helps you make connections that no other program that I know of has made.
Perfect. All right. Cool. That's cool. Thank you very much.
He makes a poem a poem.
All right.
Alright.
So.
I don't know, but basically, who's
I'll
gonna
clap.
stand?
I'm gonna stand here.
Do you want me to stand here and you can look at me while you answers, because it's on the.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll ask you the questions and look at her while you answer.
Whatever you guys need. Press the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Just I'm pressing it now.
All right. Ready? And... Okay. So, what could you explain to us what you do for ForWords?
So my title, I guess, would be the not arts director, but guest artist. I guess that's what it's called. And I teach the children basically how to. Right now, we're doing a movie. We're doing an animated movie. So for the middle schoolers, we'll do a claymation movie. So my job is basically just showing them how claymation works, how to work a camera, how to set up the shots and plan out the steps before they even take it. I'm also supposed to make up their puppets, so I'll create their puppets at home or something. I'll put in the hours. and then outside of school, and then outside of work. Why am I saying school? And then I'll bring them in, and they'll have everything ready. They just need to finish, like they said. They were in there. They were working on their scripts and how to figure out what's going to happen. Because each group is made out of 5 students. So for each group, they're going to make a little clip, and then we're going to put it all together. So each clip will be about 5-10 minutes, give or take. Yeah, and it's based on the Little Prince, which should be kind of fun. So that's my job, just artsy stuff, I guess.
Well, how long have you been with ForWords, and how did you first become associated with them?
Okay, so first I was in an after-school program. I think I was about their age, 12 or something, and then I met the founder. His name was Larry. He became a mentor of mine, and he was just helping me out. Actually, I was in school when he offered me the job. I'm still in school, so he offered me the job to come and work for them. So it's been a long time. I think off and on it was like 5 years, maybe 6.
What is the most fulfilling about the job?
And just one note I forgot to say earlier is try and answer the questions, assuming the people hearing your answer won't have heard the question.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
we forgot to say that.
So, what? Yeah. Exactly.
The most fulfilling thing, I guess it would be working with the kids. A lot of them just go home and like they don't really go out or anything like that. So you get to spend some time with them and figure out what they're thinking about. So a lot of the projects that ForWords was doing is about themselves. So it has to involve something about their life. The difference between the middle school and high school program is that their projects are going to be a lot different. So like the high schoolers are more direct on who they are. So the most fulfilling thing would be like getting to know each one of the kids and how they think and how they feel. That would have to be it.
Do you think what do you think is the most positive thing about ForWords? Like, what do you think is the most powerful thing that, the most powerful way, I guess, that it affects, the students and the participants?
Okay, the program is pretty small, so that means that we have more time to get to know each one of the students and their parents. So we just don't create so a lot of programs just create a kind of like a communication thing where like you get one thing, right? You apply for one thing or another, but with ForWords you actually get to know the parents, the students, and everything, and you form a really good relationship with a lot of them. So a lot of the parents, I'm in good speaking terms with them, and I can just have a conversation if something happens or if we want to figure something out with them. So that's the most,
Perfect.
I would have to say.
All right, that's awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, that's about it. All we need. Thanks very much.
Is there anything else
I'm good.
you want to say about ForWords?
Yeah, like as a final sort of conclusion.
Nah, not really.
right,
I think
cool.
that's it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks
Matt.
so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
not
you.
good in front of the camera.
It's all right.
Yeah? You want? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. The image. What else?
It has a lot of emotion.
It has a lot of emotion. Do you all hear that? Yes. We have and we want to convey. Is that clear? Now we're going